Manchester United are close to finalising the details of a new fan share scheme pledged by the owners following the protests around the European Super League. The plans at this stage are for the new shares to hold the same voting rights as the ones owned by the Glazer family. The fan shares would carry 10 times the voting rights of the ordinary ones held by other investors. It's expected to be formally agreed with the Manchester United Supporters Trust by the end of the year. The club has said that the talks would lead to fans having a strong collective voice within our ownership. To get more on this, we can speak now to Flex from the United View YouTube channel. Good afternoon, Flex. Good to see you. What's your reaction to this news?
Yeah, I think it's something that we know has been worked on for a while. There's obviously clearly a long way to go on this in terms of knowing exactly what it's about, exactly what it entails. And I'm sure, people a lot closer to the agreement and the situation will be commenting further on it. But just on a personal note, as a fan, I think I've got to look at the timing of this. There's a lot going on at the club. I'm not one for sort of trying to put some positivity when maybe there isn't on the pitch. We've got to be careful of that. You've got to ask yourself the question of these supposed shares that are now going to be released. Where does the funds generated from that go? Because as we know, back in October, the Glazers made some share sales, but none of that was actually reinvested back into the club. It all went to them. So there's a lot of questions to be answered here from that about where we go with this. But I think, we do have to have an open mind. The club have been talking about wanting fans to have a say more after, the whole Super League fiasco. There were changes made then. But I think that for me personally, as a Manchester United fan, I've just got my back up a little bit. I don't want sort of empty gestures or token gestures of pieces of information or of shares that maybe don't carry the rights that you might think they do. So there's a lot to go on this. I think it's very easy to kind of get too excited with this. We need to see what happens next, and I'm sure, like I said, the people really close to this, Manchester United Supporters Trust especially, and obviously Manchester United will be coming out sooner rather than later with the real details on this, because I think right now it's too early as a fan to be discouraged, but also too early to be encouraged by saying that everything's fixed, because the Glazers have got a hell of a lot of work to do to convince a lot of Manchester United fans that they're going to say what they said in that open letter when they apologised about the Super League and how they want to reform Manchester United. So this is the first step in that direction, but it's really early doors, so it's definitely, for me, nothing to write home about just yet.
You've just touched on it there as well, Flex, but I just wanted to bring you a comment from Lord O'Neill. So this is a former Goldman Sachs economist and influential United supporter, as you well know, has called this fan ownership scheme a minimalist token gesture, similar to what you just said. What do you make of that? Could you expand on that a little bit more?
Well, what for me, I'm no financial analyst expert, but what I would say is it's easy to kind of put things down on paper to quickly appease the fans. I think the trust between the Manchester United fans, definitely in my opinion, and the Glazers has been severed for a very long time. And what you don't want after a huge reaction from Manchester United fans, and not just Manchester United fans, but there were fans all over the country after the Super League. But in our club in particular, what you don't want, I suppose, is just gestures being put out there to kind of calm us down. We can see what's going on the pitch. We can see certain decisions that haven't been made. With the coaching staff, with the managerial situation, and fans have had their say on that. And I just get worried that maybe sometimes this bit of information can come out just at a time to kind of divert attention away from that, and just kind of make us feel a little bit happier. So for me, like I said, I'm sure the people closer to this will speak in a lot more depth and detail than I will. But as a fan and as an individual, I just worry that maybe there's a little bit of just trying to appease the fans going on here and just, give us an easier ride to say, actually, maybe everything is changing. And, if this is the start of change, that's what we want. Manchester United fans, we want to have a say, we want to have ownership. You look at how other clubs are run around the world. You look at the likes of Bayern Munich, you look at and how well they're run and how much of a say that their fans have. We want something similar at Manchester United, and we haven't had that. But like I said, these shares that are going to be made available, one of my biggest questions first off, what I would like answering as a Manchester United fan is as a result of those sales, what happens with that revenue? Because like I said earlier in the year, the Glazers made huge sales in some of their shares, and it didn't get put back into the club, and that was a club statement. So a lot more to go on this, Bella. But I just feel like I said there, I would be very skeptical of little token gestures just to kind of calm everything down. But at the end of the day, it's a step in the right direction. Should it transpire how it looks like it's going to transpire, I'm sure the Manchester United Supporters Trust are working hard to get the best deal for Manchester United fans. Hopefully that's happening in the background, and we'll have to wait to see more on this.
Yeah, and if it does transpire in the way that United fans want, what would they want to influence by having this share scheme?
The way I see it, as a Manchester United fan, it would be good to see, if there are going to be structural changes, that the fans are consulted. We want to see where the investment's going into in terms of the infrastructure of the football club. Listen, we've spent a lot of money on transfers. Solskjaer has been backed over 400 and something odd million pounds. So we are being backed there. But small things like taking care of the stadium. Just this summer, we've seen that a lick of red paint's been put on there, and a few little bits of upkeep in and around the place. But the infrastructure at the training ground, the women's team needs development. We just want to see those things, and the people making the decisions at the football club, we just want to be assured that they're making the best decisions for the football club based on football, and not financially. I think that's what we want, and that transparency. And if Manchester United fans can have a say on that and be involved in that situation and involved in that decision-making process, I think it will go a long way in the Glazers trying to bring themselves closer to fans and kind of deliver on all their deliverables that they outlined in their open letter.
Flex, thanks so much. Great to get your thoughts.